Hello Internet, this is a quick demo and review of the Insignia NS-HD02 HD radio armband. These tiny FM radios were sold in Best Buy about 10 or so years ago. Now I was fortunate enough to purchase this one on eBay a few days ago, and I was so excited about it that I wanted to make a quick video just showing off all of its coolness. Now unfortunately I can't play any audio off of this because of copyright, but there's still an awful lot to show you here. Now, if you're not familiar, HD radio refers to the digital radio standard in the United States. It's called HD because it's a hybrid digital signal, not high definition. Now, hybrid means that the radio station broadcasts in both analog and digital signals at the same time. HD radio stations can broadcast up to 3 different audio programs, display album art and metadata, weather and traffic information, plus the audio quality tends to sound a little bit better than just regular old FM or AM. Now in Europe, those folks use the DAB and DAB Plus standards. HD radio is the quirky American standard that we use here. Now right now I'm tuned into KNDD. This is an HD radio station out of Seattle, and I listen to that a lot. Now there are very few portable and home HD radios that can show album art like this one, and that's why I was so excited about it. Now this radio has a capacitive touchscreen, and I'm using a little stylus as I'm filming, but you can use your fingers without too much of a hassle. To get to the different functions inside of the FM radio, you have to slide across the bottom. And you can see here I accidentally just skipped to the other program. So this is playing Channel Q, which is an LGBT focused radio station. And so this is what I mean about the touch screen not quite giving you what you want. So to get to other features here, you have to swipe across. And so I'm going to try to do that now. And you can see this brings up the guide and the memo function. So the guide will then show you the different programs that are available on that radio station. And the memo button will record the metadata that's listed, and so you can go back and get that information if you really like that song on the radio, for example. Now if I click memo, it'll store that to a list that's in a different menu, and I can see that later. So I have 7 songs stored with a total of 10 available. If I scroll back, let's go to normal, scroll back into the mode, we can get to presets. And in presets, you've got 20 that you can set and select using the buttons at the bottom. So now we're tuning into Hits 106. You'll notice it takes a second to identify that it's an HD radio station, and then it will take quite a bit more time for that album art to show up. So while that's doing its thing, we can take a look at the menu, which is really just a bunch of settings for the radio. So the first one is the LCD control, and that lets you adjust the backlight and the contrast for the screen. Next is backlight time, and that adjusts the screen timeout. So you can set that from 5 seconds all the way up to always on. Now there is a power button on the side, and so when you press that power button, it will automatically turn off the screen regardless of if you have that always on set. Next is seek type, so when you're searching through the stations, you can have it search for everything or just skip to the HD radio stations. Oh, here we go. We now have the album art for Dua Lipa showing up, and you'll notice it blows up, it gets bigger after a few seconds. To get out of that, all you'll do is you'll just click the title and the track name, and that'll bring back the menu, or in this case, jump me to the live play function, or live pause function. So this lets you pause the current station that you're listening to using the controls down at the bottom. And to get out, you just press that LP off, and then it retunes back to the station, and you'll notice it lost the album art that it already downloaded, so it's gonna have to do that again. So let's go back to the menu, and you'll see we've got favorite song memo. So these are the memos I was telling you about before. So to get rid of them, you'll just press that X on the right side, but otherwise it just scrolls the artist and track title, and that's it. Next is the software version, so this is pretty much meaningless because you can't update it. And then the last thing in the menu is resetting to factory default, so you can say yes or no. Along the left side of the radio is a volume rocker, on the right side is the power button, and below that is the 3.5mm headphone jack, and on the bottom is the mini B to charge the radio. And that pretty much is it for this little radio. Now, should you scour eBay for one of your own? Probably not, unless you really like radio and live somewhere that has a pretty good HD radio reception. But anyway, that's all I have for you here. I hope you enjoyed this video.